said that planning is crucial. I mean, how do you lead and how do you design without having planned beforehand? We had a timeline for the whole year. We have regular meetings, probably every second week.
My first tip is to have a very clear idea of what it is that you want to put online, use a roadmap, and then populate, the content according to that particular roadmap.
Because there's no question that the amount of time that it actually takes is huge. Now, again, as I've said, I have had previous experience of it, but maybe just to illustrate it with one small thing. So if I take a teaching session that I have planned, if I'm going to use PowerPoint, you don't want a PowerPoint slide set that anyone is able to read and fully understand, because it should have few words in it, because obviously when you're face to face, you're using it as a prompt and you're using it, you talk to it. But when I'm giving a PowerPoint slide set to a developer, and especially a developer who is not trained in my particular technical field, which most of them aren't. I mean, I wouldn't expect developers to be clued up on particular aspects of medicine that I'm involved in teaching. When I have to hand over a PowerPoint set that even a medical person wouldn't necessarily follow because it's brief and to the point, and I now have to hand this over to someone who's a developer without medical knowledge, there's an enormous amount of extra information that I need to then give them so that they know what they're actually translating. So part of it is actually almost an education process for them, so that they understand the content that they're developing.
I don't know if the right term is saying putting your mind in the place of the students, because when the learning designers were asking us stuff, you're like, okay, now you automatically have to put on the student cap. How will they look at this page? How will they read that instruction? I think overall that was a comment that came up quite a bit, we always say we prepare for students, but we were actually the student when the learning designer was guiding us on how to do the design process and what to think about in terms of, you said it there, but is it clear enough? So that really reflecting on how the student will experience the page, the SunLearn page, the words, even color. A lot of people said they learned a lot from just that, we're always trying to understand student perspective, but I think we were actually students in terms of going through the process with a very skilled learning design team.
I think the exciting thing with online work is there's virtually nothing that you can't reproduce in the online space. But what is perhaps a bit more challenging is if you haven't developed the material at all and you've had no experience of delivering it, and then you've got to start from scratch and then be thinking about it in an online space, how you're going to do it in an online space when you have never done that before. I think that adds an extra challenge. But I think the nice thing was that we had developers that we worked with who had not only experience technically, but also had experience pedagogically. So they were able to guide us and say, well, you could do it like this and you could do it like that, and offering various different solutions. So that increased the creative element. That was quite fun.
I also learned about the whole SunLearn platform, how to negotiate it, and how easy it is actually to use it and to communicate to students at the click of a button. You reach a lot of students at the same time with a short message and voice message, whatever you want to put on a video, whatever. And it's much easier than I thought. It scared me, but just doing it for a few days, you get the hang of it. So I don't think people need to be scared of the technology. It actually makes it easier. But I must say, I don't think it replaces true face-to-face contact. That's why the hybrid model remains, in my opinion, the preferred way of doing it, rather than a completely online kind of platform.